Okay. Okay, guys. What the fuck? What was that? What the hell? GG. Well, there it goes. No bugs, guys. It's all fine. Yo, man, she wants me. Dude, she's just firing at me! Just get her, boys! There it is. Yeah, man, thanks for sharing some knowledge here.
Yeah, you're welcome. I gladly do this because I get like DMs daily, as I said. Like it's fairly frequent question and like everything about it. Like basically, if the Bone Prison are minions, so like technically they are minions, but it is irrelevant for this case. Like for the Mendeln build in specific, it is irrelevant.
Okay, yeah, we can go step by step, man. Because I understand like a lot about the game, but I have no I started playing this build yesterday, so I'm very happy to have someone to talk to, and I think the community as well. Because I mean, it is complicated in some ways, and obviously there's also like bugs on top of all that, which is just adding to the confusion, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Like also there are like some. Content creators that do not really care about how stuff works and just put out the build and some like misinformation about it and put it as facts, which made it even worse for me recently because someone else made a video and with like really ridiculous claims about this, and everyone was DMing me if this is true, and I already had to turn it down.
I mean, like they don't mean bad; they just don't know any better, and they don't do testing. And
Like I told him, and he he does understand now. But the video is out there, and it's getting clicks. Yeah, and I'm fairly active on some of the Discords, and all the.
Okay, let's just like start really simple for now. So like we can get into like I think the most complicated mechanic will be the Bone Prison. But okay, so we already established that attack speed and also minion attack speed does not matter for the ring procs, right?
Yeah, your attack speed does not matter at all. The minion attack speed, like it's a very minor difference. And also Frenzy, which is one of the ways we could technically increase the minion attack speed, that's
the aspect, yeah.
Is not really working. Like I tested it, it is working to some extent, but it's not really with a high uptime on Lilith, for example. Like I had several videos and I really checked it, and it's not that significant.
Okay, but just in terms of
you could get like one hit more in, like because the Bone Prison would trigger all the time the lucky hits, and maybe one of the minions could get another proc in, but that's not that significant in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, so but like in general, the attack speed efficiency, like let's say you have 10% attack speed on your gloves, right? This is like your attack speed, and the minions only benefit from 30% of that. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
So you're only getting, like, is it a third or is it 30%?
30%.
Okay. So only 30% from the attack speed would even matter. And then obviously obviously there would be breakpoints, like how fast the minions will attack, right? And that's what you're saying, like that's why it's not worth it, because I mean, like, when they attack, they don't proc lucky hits, right? But they, like it says on the ring, the next attack from each of them will explode for this damage. So if they would attack faster,
like as I said, it is possible that within one of the attacks there's another instance of a Mendeln proc, but it's not really.
It's a very minor increase.
Yeah,
and, like, I mean, you'd have to give
for
up an
example,
aspect.
if you could slot in any other aspect that does any multiplicative damage increase, that will work always. For the attack speed, it is a gamble. Like the proc has to happen in between attacks or so that you can get another proc in, but it's very, very minor difference. If it even happens. It's really, really hard to test, because if for the ring to test, you need 7 minions, so you always have a huge amount of damage instances. And it's like no shot that you can really track it.
Okay, so attack speed, meh. Like, you don't really want to focus it. It's not really worth it.
If it happens to be on your offhand or so, or
or gloves,
you can have it on offhand.
Oh, the minion attack speed, you mean.
Yeah, minion attack. Your attack speed, you can have it on glove. There's nothing really that scales Mendeln anyway on the gloves.
Well, I mean, you can have double crit, right? Crit against injured, normal crit, and then you can have dex, which even gives more crit, and then, okay, you have one more stat. Actually, you don't. You have lucky hit. You have a full glove then.
Yeah, lucky hit. Yeah, I have lucky hit, for example, on my gloves, but that's only really beneficial as soon as we do not use Bone Prison anymore. Before that, it does proc corpses from Hued Flash. But
yeah, I mean, corpse explosion and all that stuff, like the auto trigger is gonna still proc something, right? I mean, okay, against Lilith it might not be good, but like in general, I think it could be nice.
Yeah, I would definitely keep lucky hits on the gloves, but right now with the Barber, for example, in game, crit chance against injured is not that significant.
Okay.
Like, almost never you will hit an injured enemy.
That's really cool. And then I see my chat already asking right now is like, I've seen your planner, and you usually put the corpse tendrils on the amulet, right?
Yes. Because with that I reach about 93-94% crit chance.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like very good for consistent damage, and also you won't have 100% uptime on the Shadowblight, but you will have 100% uptime on the corpse tendrils.
I'm rocking like 85% right
10
now.
Stacks. You need the 10 stacks for the Shadowblight to proc the 180%. But tendrils, you have full benefit all the time.
Okay, and then what do you think about? Obviously, there is the what's it called? The aspect of Decay. And this one, as far as I understand, it's only increasing the damage of your Shadowblight, right?
Yeah, this is... I never really made a specific Lilith build. That 520 million hit that's on... That I did recently. That's just like a damage I do with my dungeon build on Lilith. I could increase this even further if I want to, but there's no content that forces me to do so. So that Decay is only on the gloves, because I'm playing tier 100s all the time. And if you encounter Fire Enchanted, they will kill your enemies, your minions. And what I do when this happens is I slot out the minion from my action bar and play an Infinimus rotation on that enemy to kill it. Like, if it happens that they are all dead.
Okay, but how much,
that's basically my backup.
Like, let's have how much percent of your damage. Okay, sorry. The Shadowblight is basically, like, the aspect of Decay is only buffing Shadowblight damage, right? It has nothing to do with your minions, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Only
and the
for
Shadowblight
speed farming, it's very good because you can just run past stuff, and small enemies will die, Barber explosions will happen, everything is dying very quickly, you can just run past it, everything will die behind you. And as well for really, really, really high keys where your minions will have survivability issues at least until the next patch. Then they are changing some stuff like the pillars and Fire Enchanted.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
might not even.
They're gonna take less damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, like right now in this setup here, I just played the Blood Mist. Like still does more shadow damage and movement speed to proc Shadowblight faster. I guess that's also an option, right? I mean, I could switch it. I have the Aspect, perfect roll actually, but I don't know. I felt this one is movement speed is
Decay
nice.
Is not really a key item as long as you don't push like 100s all the time.
Yeah.
Like I can clear every 100 key no matter of which affixes are in there.
And that's with
because
Decay.
It's like 100%. Yeah, because of Decay, this is because Infinimist can clear everything.
Yeah.
I have Infinimist in this build to some degree. Basically Infinimist with high Mendeln burst. That's what I play.
But like, what do you think the overall damage output? Let's say against Lilith for now. Like, how much is your Shadowblight doing? Like,
maybe like 2%.
2%. So this is completely useless on Lilith. The aspect of Decay.
Yes.
Completely useless.
It's completely irrelevant. Even before the patch, the normal Mendeln build could one-shot Lilith without any minions to spawn. Like you could skip the whole first phase before the patch, before Barber, because the damage is so high. Yeah. If she is in like a somewhat long attack pattern, you can just straight up nuke her. And one thing
that's what I just did in the recent clip.
Yeah. If you check your replay, I can tell you why you did one-shot her.
Okay, tell me. I'm gonna put it up 1 second.
Yeah, sure. I can open it up. I will have a delay, but I know what happened. You basically attacked her, and your first Barber procced and brought her to like close to 75%.
Yeah, she was like close to go away for the minion phase.
Yeah.
But not quite.
And right after that, you will see in your buff bar that your Shadowblight is activated. She is at 75%, so all your multipliers are kicking in. Yep. And you Barber is accumulating damage. You pop your Bone Prison, and she just straight up dies. Because that second Barber was basically fully amplified with your Essence Glyph, with Shadowblight. Everything was up. That's why she died. Yeah, if you instantly go in, nuke her and do like some damage, you will just bring her down to like 40% or so. Depends on how good your build is.
Yeah, and also on the gear,
because you will miss that 180% multiplier from Shadowblight. You can't trigger that instantly.
Yeah.
This needs some time to build.
but that's why I was playing the Blood Mist leaves a trail. What is it called? Like this one works, right? Like I mean, this one applies shadow damage per second, which should stack Shadowblight faster, no? I mean, that was at least the theory, but...
Yeah, it will stack Shadowblight faster. Like, as I said, my build is basically just like Swiss Army knife build. Like, I can do speed farming, I can do 100s, I can do Lilith. But if you want to do, like, you are not interested in doing 100s or so, you don't need Decay, and you can go for this.
Yeah, I did like a couple 90s earlier, like when I started the stream. It was like pretty comfortable actually. Yeah,
it's like this build is like crazy broken to some extent because the minions are just too strong. Or the Mendeln ring.
So you're basically playing normal Infinimist and you just have Mendeln there on top of it.
Yes. Yeah, as soon as I saw the Crapify hard dropping, that only needed one enemy next to me, I knew this build will be broken.
Yep.
Like, no shot, it's not broken if you give me one additional action bar slot in that build.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, I wanted to hear your take before we get into the most complicated Bone Prism stuff. So what about Lidless Wall or offhand or two-handed setup in general? Like, what's your thought about, like the options there? Because I saw you are running an offhand, right, with the extended Bone Storm duration.
Yeah, it's also mainly just a dungeon thing. Because I get a 100% uptime on Bone Storm, and Bone Storm, like Shadow Bone Storm, in combination with Decay, will always do like a good amount of damage in dungeons.
Yeah, like, you also get a bunch more cooldown from the offhand, right? Which helps you.
Yeah, that as well. Like you're almost all the time in Blood Mist.
Yeah, okay. So I see, because Lidless Wall doesn't really give you cooldown, and you only have sacrificed like the golem, so you only have like a 50% on Lucky Hit to even proc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, and then you just have the
Lidless Wall. You could try it. You could play it. Like definitely can work out. But
yeah, that's what I was doing.
For me so far, it felt better to go with Gale and Ultimate Shadow on the weapon and offhand, and the other aspects like Decay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think about, like, let's say,
with the build, like,
let's say we want like full Lilith damage. What about full we go two-hander, and
that would be Inner Calm, most likely somewhere in the build.
But do you think? Okay, 1 second. Like, what if we just play a two-hander and put Corpse Tendrils on the two-hander and leave Shadowblight on the amulet, and just like no Inner Calm, like you don't have slots anymore, right? Like everything else stays the same. Well, actually, you could put Inner Calm instead of Blood Mist on the ring, true.
Yeah, it would put Inner Calm instead of Blood Mist.
And the
Definitely, Corpse... like 30%. Like, there are, like, so little ways to...
Dude, okay, we gotta do a couple billion damage, easy.
Yeah, my recent video, I did 520.
Wait, can you link that again? Like, I'm gonna link this in chat. Can you link this in audio?
Yeah, like it's a very low quality explanation about Mendeln stuff, because I was getting questions every day, so I can link it, sure. But
yeah, wait, if you want to, I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, like everyone will make fun of me because of my German accent, but
I guess it's all fine. I mean, we can understand each other well. I'm also German guy, so I also have.
I know. But, like it's like I'm no content creator. It's very, very basic stuff, and I will.
And people understand that, man. They're just appreciating some actual information, because, dude, there's so much misconception.
Yes,
you know, like
about this one is specifically. I've heard so much, but like in your chat it was popping up as well.
Yeah, because I didn't know either. I tried to help, but I'm like, guys, I'm playing this build since like 5 hours. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's really hard to understand, because it doesn't really make any sense what's happening at some point.
Wait, why do we have Bone Spear here? Really what the hell is this? Why is there Bone Spear?
Wait, did I link the Bone Spear video? Oops.
But I don't know, you still have minions. What? Like, look how fast he dies.
Yeah. I have time. Like, every time I make a kill on Lilith or do something, I always get the comment, yeah, this only works because you are abusing the Bone Prison bug, so I kill her again with the normal build, and yeah, it's just, I think then it's this video.
This is without Bone Prison.
Wait, it's wrong again, what the fuck? I'm stupid.
100% loving this info. Hey, thanks for the feedback, chat, yeah. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I have the wrong link, 1 second.
Yeah, but you basically, like this video that I'm watching right now, you still have the Mendeln ring just in there.
Yeah. This is the exact same build basically. This is the longer one where I go into like some of the issues, and some of the issues we'll encounter with Lilith, especially like the Barber stuff where you nuke her when the first ads spawn and all that shit. I just go over some stuff.
Man, this game is so broken, dude. Like,
no production value. Yeah, this is the same build, just using Bone Spear, because this build will not break when you are forced to not play Bone Prison anymore. Like, if they fix it for some reason without an...
okay, before we go... Okay, let's go into the Bone Prison before we go into the hybrids. Okay, so Bone Prison. So obviously it spawns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments of the Bone Prison, yes?
Yes.
And apparently... those segments count as minions, each of them.
Yeah, like to some extent, like if you have the stat on your gear that increases minion HP, this will increase the Bone Wall XP, minion HP. This will increase the HP of the Bone Wall. The Death Defense will also defend the Bone Prison from being a one-shot.
Okay.
As well as like the Death Speaker amulet that does the what is it called? Blood Surge explosion.
Anymore. Correct.
For some reason, the Bone Prison can do the explosions as well, even though the necklace stays minions. So to some extent, the Bone Prison is a minion. But for the Mendeln build, it really only generates lucky hits. That's all it does. It does like 0 interaction in terms of damage.
One second, but like basically, you know, the Mendeln ring requires you to have 7 minions, right? So let's say your skeletons are down and you just cast your Bone Prism and you already have 7
minions. It doesn't count towards that.
Okay, it doesn't
count. Like if you have
that.
6 minions up and cast the Bone Prism, you like it's also in the video I linked. I even show like I have video proof because I've heard this so often, and also from content creators, but I can video proof that they are wrong, and then they just put stuff out there for some reason. And
well, I mean, they want
if you
clicks.
have 6 minions
that's how it goes. They want clicks. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay,
most
but like
likely.
so,
and
like what exactly does the Bone Prism
6 minions plus Blow Wall, no procs, definitely 100%.
Okay, but I cast this Bone Prism on Lilith. What happens?
Like, it's not really like I'm not really sure what's happening because it definitely is some sort of bug. But I think sometimes you see, when you're in the open world and you place the Bone Prison, you will see this vulnerable message above the enemy popping up like very, very, very often. Most likely like 6 times per second, maybe even more often than that. And to me, in general, it feels like that vulnerable applications in this game have a chance to apply lucky hits. But this is only just my theory. Don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong about this.
Obviously, it might also be just bugged.
Yeah. But for example, several players came to the conclusion that Tendrils seem to proc Mendeln fairly often, and for some reason the Bone Prison does proc it often as soon as you take the vulnerable application. And I definitely can kill Lilith quite fast as soon as I take the Bone Spear with the vulnerable application. So, but it's just a wild guess. It might be a thing.
And that's even with Barber, right? Like you have Barber in all of this because people are saying, "Why the hell are you playing Barber?" And like you can't lucky it then, and then you can't proc your Mendeln ring. But yeah, that's also not true.
Yeah, that's not really true. Like lucky hit and Barber is a whole different topic. Some stuff works, some stuff does not. It's it's very, very different. Like Huge Flash, for example, that can proc during Barber.
But basically, the theory is, I place my Bone Prism, it lasts for 6 seconds, and multiple times a second, it basically applies vulnerable. Let's say it's 3. Like, what would you guess? Like how many times a second does it? Like just
I don't know, maybe like 10 times a second.
Like, that much?
It's really it's really, really often. And
so 10 times a second, it applies vulnerable to the target, basically.
Yeah, but like it's hard to test how often it really does it. But
just
like something is inside, and something like you place the Bone Prison and it instantly procs so often. But always keep in mind that the Mendeln ring only has a 10% chance on a lucky hit. So even though it's
it procs like once a second. So there's 10 attacks, 100% lucky hit, then 10%
like
chance.
It is something crazy. Yeah. Because it's right click death. Instant.
Yeah, but only in a single target situation when the minions are actually attacking. Because the Mendeln works like that, like the minions still have to like do their normal attack. And that one does increase damage, basically, right?
What?
Like for the Mendeln ring to proc. Like the minions need to actually attack the target in the Bone Prison.
Yeah. That's why, for example, in my speed build that where I have the Ghost Walker on the boots, I still run the mages because I can't lock them out of the Bone Prison. Like you can lock out the warriors. So if they can't melee attack, they can't deal damage.
Oh, I've been doing that sometimes.
Yeah. Everyone does, but it's hard to
Yeah, okay, but you're saying like ideally they should be in the prison.
Yes. Like sometimes they can hit over it.
It depends on the hitbox, I guess, of what they're hitting as well. If it's a very small hitbox, they have troubles, but if it's a big hitbox. Okay, so that's actually a big gameplay mistake that I did. I didn't even pay attention, man. I just like casting this bone prism on range, like in the rift. Like,
if you lock them out, they do nothing at all. They just stand there and wait. But the mages are equally dumb. Sometimes they don't even enter a room or so and do nothing as well.
Pet AI could definitely be improved by many ways.
In a better spot because I don't play against them with the bone prism.
Mm-hmm.
There is a shot that they function.
So how do you feel about adding the, what's it called? Like there's one that increases your skeleton count as well, right? You're playing the mage one, but you're not playing the warrior one, right?
Like I linked you my latest build. I swapped out
this build, wait.
Yeah, it's the YT build because I got asked under my videos.
Oh yeah, now you have the warriors here.
Yeah, I have them in. I got rid of Ghost Walker for now, since I mainly do 100s.
Yeah, I mean, this is way more than, like, okay, how much damage is this? So right now we have 9, right? So we're getting
the main
11.
Reason,
so we're getting 11
divided
by 9.
Main reason for this build is in 100s you will start losing your minions over time, like a little bit during the fight. And so I have a little bit more minions to lose before I lose the Mendeln.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if I go in with 11 minions, I can lose 4 and still blast.
But I mean, on a single target, you'd be going from 9 to 11 minions, so you're gonna get a 22% damage increase on boots.
Yeah. This is a significant damage increase, and also for Helltides, it's just crazy because they just roam around and kill everything.
Yeah.
I just basically put the bone prison on something that's far off my screen or so, and they ramp up and roam around and kill everything.
That's crazy. So 10 times a second, this bone prism.
Yeah,
something like that.
Guess.
Yeah. I mean, it might be 8 times, 7, like 12. Who knows, man? Like, game is.
As I said, like it's a 10% chance on the ring, and I can guarantee you that it will almost immediately proc, even on a single target. It has to be something really crazy.
And then the next question is, what does it scale with? So obviously it's
physical damage.
Okay, obviously it's like damage itself. So it does not scale with your weapon or with your offhand, right? Like you don't even need a weapon damage.
Yeah, that's why I killed her with a grey weapon, just to show how stupid this is.
Yeah.
The Mendeln ring is a base damage for the Mendeln proc. That's all it is. So
and that then gets multiplied by certain things, right? Like and the proc then gets multiplied by close damage.
After that, it scales with everything you have, like crit chance, crit damage, obviously, vulnerable, and damage to close, damage to distant, whatever.
Yes.
You have in your kit that will work, and also all your Paragon multipliers will work.
Okay, but it does not work with intelligence because intelligence only increases skill.
I can't really 100% test this. Like I assume it does not really work, but it's like hard to test with these numbers.
Very good, Big Bagel.
And so also they are like sometimes they are all over the place. You pull the boss and they are hitting for 2 million, like without Barber, and the next time you pull, it's 2.5. So it's like very random what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't play with 1000 int. I can decrease my int by only so much. So it's hard to test if it really has any effect, but by the tooltip, it should not.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, there's not really like a GG alternative on the weapon anyways, right? You have close, burn, crit damage, and then what? Like
damage to targets affected by shadow damage.
Yeah, it's just some
because you will always have the corpse explosions up.
Okay. So that all makes sense. So int might or might not work. I think it does. By tooltip, I would say it doesn't work. So don't focus really on int. Would be what I would suggest.
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't need a high item power weapon for this build to function. But still, high item power might be important because some of your damage, especially in rifts, runs, Nightmare Dungeons, is coming from Shadowblight. Right?
Yeah, I would not really completely ignore it, but if you have like 800 or whatever weapon, that will do what it's supposed to do, because most of the damage will still be from your minions. You're basically supporting your minions.
Yeah.
This way around.
For sure.
In this build.
And another question there is, I don't know if it was in your planner, but a lot of planners that I saw have the Scourge Glyph in. And obviously this shadow damage over time won't do anything for your minions, right? It only the secondary is important here.
Exactly. But what you could do, you can run Imbiber there and go for more willpower points if you want to.
Yeah, true.
Do that. That's like healthy damage, or damage while healthy. But that's basically your only other option. And for Lilith, for example, what you can do is you can slot for on the second board, you can slot out control for Corporeal. Or Corporeal, I don't know. On the second board.
I could get Corporeal here. I don't even know if I have
because Mendeln is straight up physical.
Oh, it is a physical proc. Okay.
Yeah. Like Mendeln also does the sound of the weapon that you are using. If you are using a scythe, for example, you always hear this slashing sound when it procs. I don't know why. It is like that. God.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Okay. Wait, which one did I have here? I forgot already. Control.
You had control there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's,
okay.
Like,
so
really,
that's
if you want
to
push for Lilith, then
I mean, right now
this would definitely be an option.
Yeah. I mean, right now I have like this bunch of defensive stuff. But you also felt like that this note here, the custody in the final board is like super important, right? It gives like literally 40% damage reduction.
Yeah.
The rare note.
Because if you don't really go into minion defenses in higher keys, they will always only survive because of death's defense. So at some point they will start dying all at the same time. Because every chip damage, every random damage that's happening will proc death defense, even poison. And with that, they are a little bit more in the state of being able to survive something. They will not be tanks. They will definitely proc death defense on big direct hits or so. But it's really about as I said, like that chip damage, like some random damage that's happening. But they step into a poison pool or something.
Yeah, but the death defense is working wonders on Lilith, right? Because she would need 4 waves to basically even kill your minions at all.
Yeah. Like this is like a very important note, skill point for this build.
I also like that it's 30% and not like 33 or 34. So you actually need to be hit, or them to be hit 4 times, which is really good.
Yeah. Like this is before the change. I think it was 40% or so. It felt really terrible.
Yeah, and now it's
this really changed.
4 hits before it's dead.
Yeah,
that's really nice. Okay, well that explains a lot. Let's see if chat has any questions. Do you have any questions about the build guide, what we just went through? You want to ask like a guy that has a lot of experience here, Cinity, on playing the character. So we went over the Mendeln, we went over attack speed, we debunked a couple myths here about all this stuff. A link to
this guy?
Who is this guy? He is a fellow Necromancer, Summoner Enjoyer that has played this build for like how many weeks or hours do you reckon?
I played this build even before the patch. Like it's almost ever since I saw the Mendeln ring, I basically turned towards this build because there's nothing you can find on Bone Spear that no one else already did. And Blood is centered around Overpowered, which I'm not really a fan of. So this was basically the only thing I could do my own build that is technically able to break some stuff in this game. And it turned out to be working.
Yeah, did you have the link again in your channel? Like, where did you post it in Twitch? Can you link it again?
What
okay, this is the build to his planner chat. You have a link to your YouTube here as well? No.
Yeah, like I'm not really a content creator, which I can link it. But
put the link. People want to see, man. They want to learn from the best.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this is his build, guys. I'm gonna put that here in the chat and in the description as well, and his YouTube as well. We can make a nice
this would be the YouTube. But it's really mainly about a lot of Mendeln and
yeah, he has a lot of videos and some explanation stuff as well.
Also, like some 100 dungeon clears, how it looks with this build. Because I don't know, like really, there's so much.
Here's the link, guys.
Yeah, so many rumors about this build. Like it's, as I said, like only viable because of the Bone Prison bug, and then you can't do 100 with minions. So I always go in and just do video proof that it's like they are just talking, and
so much to debunk.
Yeah. I always.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
This is a viable build that you can have fun with. You are not forced to play Bone Spear to be to play a very good build on the Necromancer. Obviously, you can play whatever, but I'm fairly certain that you won't really make a very good build centered around Blight, for example, or even Blood Surge might be hard. But this is on a similar pace as Bone Spear. Just a different playstyle, so it comes down if you prefer it or not. But
and I feel people like to have options, and in general, the sentiment against like minion builds is like pork. You know, I want to play minions, like my skeletons kill stuff. So I think the general like fantasy of this build is vastly different from Bone Spear, and I mean that's very good for build variety, and people love that, man. Thank you for all the insights here. I hope you guys enjoyed this overview, and I hope it sheds some light and can maybe debunk some myth about it, because like trying to get into it, there's been so many misconceptions about all of this. I've only played this in a day, for a day for now, but like I learned so much today, and I think I have a pretty good understanding now how it works, and I hope you do have as well. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.